Hey everyone, Manus701 here, and I'm finally back with my very first Battlefield 4 video. I'm sorry it took this long for me to get it out, but as you all know, I was in London, so the first week the game was out, I didn't get any footage because I wasn't home. And so this past week, all I've been doing is playing Battlefield 4 and just trying to enjoy the game and not worry about videos a whole lot. I've also been feeling under the weather this whole week since I got back from London. I've been sick with a cold or a virus of some sort, and I'm still feeling it. So you may hear it in my voice a little bit as I've been, as I've been stuffy in the nose all week. But now that I've played the game all week, I have a whole bunch of footage I can use. And I have a couple series planned that you will probably enjoy. I'm going to make a series about the knives in Battlefield 4. My next video is probably going to be my first impressions of Battlefield 4 this past week. I'm also going to bring back KTFO at some point, and I'm also going to bring back Knifing the Battlefield 4 Pub Stars, which I'm sure is what all of you want to see the most. But in this video, I'm going to briefly talk about my experiences in the Battlefield 4 Showdown, and I also want to talk a little bit about Caspian Border and the Second Assault DLC, which I got to play in the Battlefield 4 Showdown, which very few people have, so I have a little bit of insight into that. If you've been following my channel this past week, instead of putting up gameplay videos of Battlefield 4, you've been seeing real-life videos from the Battlefield 4 Showdown in London. The past 3 videos have been real-life footage of myself, as well as a lot of the people I met in London. So if you haven't seen them yet, I highly recommend you check them out. It was really cool to meet all these people in London that I have played games with online this whole time that I never thought I would meet in real life. For example, I met Chaboy and Azzy. They're both Scottish, and I've never been out of the country before, and I never thought I would be out of the country before, so it was amazing to get to meet those guys in person, considering how far away they live. Another couple people I met that are from across the pond were Polly from Pixel Enemy. He was a pretty funny guy. I wish I got to go out with him and Chaboy and Azzy and gone drinking, but we just didn't have time. Plus, you know, our schedules were just crazy, and a lot of the Americans were just exhausted. And I also met the only female that was there in the showdown out of both teams. That was Team Monsters. She was on the European team. Unfortunately, I barely got to talk to her at all, except for the last day on the elevator on the way down to the lobby when we were leaving. I really wish I got to know some of the European players better. I did not talk to many of them very much, and I wish I had taken the time to talk to a few of them more. And of course, I met a bunch of people that were American that I've always wanted to meet. I met Tim Darkness429 from Battlefield Podcast, who I play with on a regular basis. I also met Pony Lion and Stun Gravy, the original Rendezuk master. I also met Evil Viking 13, who I've done a couple Casual Shenanigans podcasts with, and I also play with him on a regular basis. I met Grizzle, and I also met Ravik, one of the few pub stars that I have not knifed. I met a couple of the guys from Level Battlefield, Dark Times and Whitey, and those were really cool guys. They gave me some Level Battlefield dog tags, and I also had a funny moment with them on one of my real life videos that I think you should watch. I of course also met the Russian Badger. That dude is pretty wacky and funny in real life. And I also met Chibi2142 from Machinima. A bunch of you are probably familiar with him as well. And I also met Pacer of Herbert the Pervert Plays DayZ fame. He was on the American team also. I also met a bunch of the DICE employees. I met Zinto down the Matros. I actually sat next to him at dinner the first night we were there, and I talked to him a little bit. I talked to Dice Firewall. His name's Dennis. I forget his last name. He was the level designer for Battlefield 4, and it was great talking to him. He was very passionate about the game and telling us about how he designed the levels and his experience in the industry. I sat next to Alan Kurt's demise in the hotel lobby at one point, and I talked to him for a little bit. He was also on the European team, so he was playing against us. But fortunately for us, we swept the European team in the showdown, and he got knocked out of the third round, so he couldn't play for his team. And there are a bunch of other really awesome people I met there, like Alex Mendez, Golden Boy, one of the American shoutcaster for the event. And of course, I met a bunch of people that I already met before at PAX East and PAX Prime, like Jake in the Works Media, Dasgro, and Fake Thriller from Shoes to Bang. And I met a ton of other new people that I didn't know before on the American team, like Spartan and One Night Stand. Very cool guys. I hope I get to meet them again. And I didn't get to really meet them personally, but the production crew was amazing. Stevie, Jessica Showbot, I don't know if I pronounced that right, and Andy, and everyone else that was involved in the production were really awesome. It was a really well done event. If you didn't watch the replay, I highly recommend you go watch the replay. It's 2 hours long, so you don't have to watch the whole thing. But it was very entertaining, and it makes me optimistic for Battlefield esports in the future. If I had to pick one of the matches that you should watch the second match. It was Obliteration. That was so entertaining to watch. Yeah, it was amazing. So as far as the match itself, I got to play on the Xbox One with an Xbox controller, and I was probably the worst player on the American team. I'm not even kidding. You didn't see me at all during the match because I wasn't doing a whole lot. Basically, during the first match on Conquest on Caspian Border, I was laying mines down and kind of just defending the point in the back. Obliteration, I wasn't in that match because they split the teams in half. It was only 16 versus 16. The last match was probably my best match, the Conquest on Flood Zone. I went support with the mortar, and I defended our closest point, and I was launching mortars on the rooftops where all the enemies were clumped up, and I got quite a few kills and kill assists by doing that. I also disabled a couple vehicles as well, and if the European team tried to do chopper drops on our point, I would get off the mortar and try and defend the point. I got a couple of kills doing that. So that was my best match, but you didn't see me at all the whole 2 hours of the Battlefield 4 Showdown because I just wasn't doing a whole lot to be entertaining, which is unfortunate. I played drastically out of my play style because of my controller limitations. I need a mouse and keyboard, but at least I contributed to the team in some kind of way. The best part about playing Battlefield 4 on the Xbox One is that I got to play on Caspian Border 2014 is what the map is called. It's the new updated version of Caspian Border from Battlefield 3. It's on the second Assault DLC, which Xbox One users will get first before everyone else on PC or PS4 or whatever. And I can tell you all that Caspian Border in the second Assault DLC is way cooler and way more fun than it was in Battlefield 3. If you watch the replay, you could see a lot of the differences already during the match. They moved the tower from the A flag up to the hilltop D flag, and that's the major evolution of the map. You can go underground and excuse me, blow it up, and it will fall over and create a hole in the giant ass wall that has replaced the fence along the border from Battlefield 3. There's now a giant wall there with lots of towers that you can climb up and shoot from. And if you knock out the tower at D, it collapses and creates a big hole in it, because there's only two different spots where you can go through the wall. Down by the checkpoint B flag, where there's also some levolution there with a gate you can raise and lower so vehicles can get through. And there's another opening like there was before in BF3 by the A flag where you can go through there. After the tower falls, you can also climb up a section of the tower onto the D flag, which wasn't there before, and you can also hide and cover in several of the pieces that are scattered across the map. There's also a new section underground in the map that you probably didn't see during the showdown, the water that runs in between the two middle flags, there's a spot where you can dive underneath the water and go into I guess a maintenance shaft, and you can swim under there into there, and you can climb a really tall ladder that goes up under the ground up into the D hilltop flag. So that's another new route that wasn't there before previously. So Caspian Border was really fun to play, and I can't wait to play it again when the DLC comes out for the PC. As far as the other three maps in the Second Assault DLC, Gulf of Oman, Operation Firestorm, and Operation Metro, we did not get to play them. We only got to play Caspian Border. But they showed us and some of the viewers at home some brief glimpses of those three maps. If you saw Metro, there are spots where you can collapse the roof, but it doesn't show whether you can go outside. I'm not sure. The elevators are also usable in Metro, which is pretty cool. I really hope these improvements really help Metro a lot, because that was my least favorite map in Battlefield 3. In Operation Firestorm, it looks pretty similar to BF3. I'm not sure what the drastic differences were there, other than exploding pipelines with fire coming out of them. And Gulf of Oman looks really neat. It looks like they added a giant sandstorm. I can't wait to see what that does. And it looks like briefly there's some kind of evolution with the aircraft carrier on the American side. Because there looks like there's a part where there's a guy running through the aircraft carrier and there's fire behind him. If they did something with aircraft carrier, that would be really awesome. But that's just speculation at this point. None of us are really sure. As far as new weapons and gadgets go in the Second Assault DLC, you'll see a smattering of new weapons that you've already seen BF3, like the F2000. I'm sure that was spotted a few times. But the coolest gadget I saw in BF3, or I'm sorry, the Second Assault DLC, was the LCAV, which is a new gadget for the support class that I've never seen in a Battlefield game before. I got to use it a lot at the suggestion of Dascro, because we couldn't shoot worth a damn with those Xbox controllers, but we could use this gadget and be effective and help our team. What the LCAV is you set it down just like the mortar, and it points up into the sky, and when you set it down, it fires a TV missile up into the sky, which you can steer just like the TV missile that you shoot from a helicopter. And you aim it just like that, and you can nail vehicles, or it can hit infantry with its damage radius, which is not very big for infantry, but if you hit them dead on, you can kill infantry as well. I thought that was the coolest gadget that I saw in the Second Assault DLC. You can only shoot one at a time. Maybe with a field upgrade perk you can shoot two quicker. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what it felt like. Otherwise, you should put down an ammo box beforehand, because it reloads really slowly. It doesn't fire very fast like a mortar does. But I'm really looking forward to using that again, because that was really cool. As far as the Xbox One goes, no, I will not be buying one. I'm sticking with my PC and my mouse and keyboard. For one, I can't afford it. Number two, I just hate using a console controller. I'm terrible with it, and I would have to practice for months to even get half decent at it. But it did look pretty good. Not as good as compared to PC, in my opinion. The screen it just didn't seem as sharp, and it seemed kind of blurry to me compared to a PC. That's probably because it was at 720, whereas on PC it's 1080. But overall, it played really good for having 64 players on it, just like a PC, and I hope all the console guys are excited for it, being able to play 32 versus 32 battles, because that's what Battlefield is all about. Alright, that's all I have for you guys for this first video. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. I'm sorry this video ran sort of long, but I hope you learned something from my experience in this Showdown, and I hope you go watch it, and I hope you learned something about the Second Assault DLC, which we'll be getting soon. Make sure you like, subscribe, favorite, share with your friends, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. Remember to always watch your back, and I'll see you guys next time.